Good morning, LLC members and everyone listening in on the call. Roll call for Law and Order Committee, 24th Navajo Nation Council regular meeting via telecommunication, August 8th, 2022, 10 o'clock. Honorable Eugenia Charles Newton. Honorable Otto So.
I am present.
Honorable Otto So is present. Honorable Vince James. Honorable Eugene So.
Present, over here.
Honorable Eugene So is present. Honorable Edmund Yazi.
Here.
Honorable Edmund Yazi is present. Honorable Eugenia Charles Newton. Honorable Vince James. Honorable Vice Chair Otto So, you have 3 members present, which constitutes a quorum. Chair, Vice Chair.
Thank you very much. We have quorum at this time, and moving forth, we have roll call. Moving forth, invocation. Madam Eugene So, can you provide us an invocation today? Honorable Eugene So, can you provide us an invocation today? Thank you.
I haven't told you.
Ashwadeep, Lorraine, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Honorable Eugene So, can you hear me?
Oh, it's another audit.
Okay. Can you provide us an invocation this morning?
Opashira. Yeah, the Nisido. In the 100 I it's an ID console. Yeah, the already in Lini. Yeah, visiting ticket in Hahoya. And I said, Son had an reason. Halana, she didn't. I shouldn't. She didn't. If she had none or the teaching, couldn't say Hana or Tana Bashina needs in the home. That's not the. She had not going to not be on it. That's cannot eat no in Lini. I could now say, yeah, she's not hold this. She had not in Lini home. Ask for it. Now, and leans and nothing he talked and leads it out from her. Get an eggy shed in Lini. I don't and he must get shade and lean the money jet. But I said, ask from Habit and shed in Lini. I see you got shed. Other corn habit and art and black home. Now, talking about it, none did a dish about none it, you know, in Lini. And in such case, yard 8 hour yard, another because on us. When I did leave the shed or the Lini, now shed Jago in Lini. Aro East, I get on Khan, you hide on. Nations on Hate Ara, Yan Texas, he passed Nana Salat in Lin, Jago shed in Lini. Aro in the corner, hard honey corn. Shenalado, Aro in the corn, admin, Aro in the Hitzel, Aro in the Shizia. Shenani, Craigie, shed Nando, in Lini corn, spin down, you know, not eat at all. If shed not eat, you don't know, she can't do corn, she didn't ever try to not eat. Jago shed in Lini. Kodon so in Chapa Dini, the Thorn Hunt and Ladder. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, Honorable Eugene So, for presenting the prayer for us this morning. Moving on, invocation number 2, recognizing guests and visiting officials. Okay, let me go ahead and see who we have all on the line. Navajo Nation Public Safety, are you on the line? I don't. What about Navajo Nation Judicial Branch? Are you on the line? What about Department of Justice? Are you on the line? Okay, then. So we don't have much people on the line. Just probably just a committee member. We'll have a short agenda. And we'll go ahead and move forth on the agenda. Number three, review and adopt agenda. Can I go ahead and have Maureen, read the agenda into the record.
Okay, Vice Chair and members of the Law and Order Committee and those that are listening. Agenda of the Law and Order Committee, 24th Navajo Nation Council, regular meeting through telecommunication, August 8, 2022, 10 a.m. Presiding Honorable Altoso, Vice Chairperson, and Honorable Eugenia Charles Newton is attending or listening into the BNF Committee budget hearing. Call meeting to order, roll call and invocation. Number 2, recognize guests and visiting officials. Number 3, review and adopt agenda. Number 4, review and adopt the journals. There are 4 journals: June 27, 2022, July 5th, 2022, July 11th, 2022, and July 25th, 2022. 5, receiving reports, none. 6, old business, none. 7, new business. A, legislation number 0108-22, sponsored by Honorable Eugene So. Going to be approve off reservation travel on September 20th to the 23rd, 2022 to travel to Washington, D.C. to meet with BIA and OJS. 8, close the meeting, announcement and adjournment. Mr. Vice Chair, thank you.
Thank you very much. With that, I'm going to go ahead and call for a motion. On for motion, going once.
Please, you see another.
Motion by Honorable Eugene So. Second in motion, Sinanda. It will be a short meeting, so hurry up, get this out of the way. Second in motion, go ahead.
I'll second, Vice Chair.
Thank you very much, brother. Honorable Yazi, Honorable Edmund Yazi. With that, we have a second in place. First, a motion in place and a second in place. And as the agenda has been read into the record, committee members, any questions pertaining to this matter? When once, twice, 3 times. Sherelle, proceed with the roll call vote.
Honorable Vince James, how do you vote? Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote? Honorable Edmund Yazi, how do you vote?
Green.
Honorable Edmund Yazi votes green. Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote?
Oh, is the chair.
Honorable Eugene So votes green. Honorable Eugenia Charles Newman is excused. Honorable Vince James. Honorable Vice Chair Adeso, you have 2 in favor, 0 opposed, 3 not voting. Vice Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. Going to move on to we have the agenda adopted as is. Thank you very much, committee members. Then we're moving on. We're going to go ahead and go to number 4, review and adoption of journals. Committee members, I want to ask you, let's just defer these journals to the next committee meeting. Is that is that something that we could entertain? If it's a consensus, I'm going to go ahead and defer the acceptance of the journals until the next committee meeting.
Delegate James on the line. Okay, concur.
Chair, Pro-Tem Chair, Vice Chair, I'll move it forward. So when we're all there, we can meet on it. Thank you.
Okay, then I'll go ahead and defer the journal to next meeting. We'll go ahead and accept those. Good morning, Honorable James. For the record, Honorable James on the line. Before I move forth, Honorable James on the line. With that, item number 5, receiving reports, none. Item number 6, old business, none. Item number 7, new business. Legislation number 10 actually it's 0108-22, an act to the Health, Education, Human Service, Law and Order Committee, Budget and Finance, and telecommunicati committees, and the Navajo Nation Council, repealing Navajo Nation Code, Section 9, Title 9, Navajo Nation Code, subsection 2C of the Marriage Act of 2005, to uniformly recognize all marriages within the Navajo Nation and amending other provisions of Title 9 related to the marriage within the Navajo Nation. Sponsored by Honorable Eugene So. Honorable Eugene So, are you on the line?
Oh, I'm right here, Shonella.
Okay. With that, could I just get staff to actually read it into the record? Staff, can you read this into the record? Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Chair and members of the Law and Order Committee. Prime sponsor is Honorable Eugene So, tracking number 0108-22, an act relating to the Health, Education, and Human Services, Law and Order, Budget and Finance, and Navajo committees, and the Navajo Nation Council. Repealing 9 in NC subsection 2C of the Marriage Act of 2005 to uniformly recognize all marriages within the Navajo Nation and amending other provisions in Title 9 related to marriage within the Navajo Nation. And this will move forward to Budget Finance, Navajo and Navajo Nation Council. Attached as the 5-day comment that went through. There were no comments at the time, but then afterwards there were comments that were opposing from Fanny Looking Glass. That email is attached. And then also there's 5 comments that are supporting. They're all attached to documents. Following that is Health, Education, Human Services Committee, 24th Navajo Nation Council Committee Report dated July 13, with the vote of 1 in favor and 2 opposed and 0 not voting, and it also attaches the vote tally sheet. And also there's 2 more comments that are opposing from Juliana Teller and Leonard Livingston. These are all attached to the document. Mr. Vice Chair, thank you.
Very much. We have the information ready to the record. So with that, Honorable Gene So, you're on the line. Gonna call for a motion. Call for a motion.
Motion, Delegate James.
Go ahead and Honorable Vince James as a motion, and I'm going to take Honorable Gene So as the second motion on this. So with that, staff, for the record, Vince James motioned, and seconding party to motion is Mr. Eugene So. With that, Shadant, you have the floor to present to the committee. You have 20 minutes. Very much. 10:18 right now.
Shonella, I believe my agents are on the line as well, so I will proceed with the request to you with my concerns, my issues in regards to the LGBTQ and their rights to every rights of everybody else on the Navajo Nation. I always hear almost everyone, especially the president, saying I edit this all the time. I hear this our issues when we're debating. So that's the reason why That's the main reason too that we're neglecting one of them, but they're all Navajos, and they should all right to reside on the Navajo Nation with all their rights, of our rights, the same as anybody else's rights. Without our net. So don't know why we had to discriminate them as we were doing the disability people, disabled people, for a long while. They are Navajos. We are all Navajos. They've been Navajo 80, Koton Gita, Nan, Sozo, Bajo Badish, Nido, Shidot Ashito, Badish, Nakala. I want my heart to be whole. Ahalanet, Ashinet, Dabidin, Yusoba and that the Niso, Nishanto, Taso will hug them and praise them and Ahalanet, Ashinet, but that's the main purpose of the Navajo way of life. Edikoto Indian Shins Kidich, is share and send all this. Okokros, but it's but to the net deal, since I was in Hutchin Chado, that's it. Sinala, Sabat Dia.
Thank you very much. Dr. Netdale, if you're on the line, your time is rolling. You have 18 minutes remaining. You have the floor. Dr. Netdale going once. You on the lines. Press *6. *6. Oh, but it's shit. Dr. Netdale going twice. And *6 if you're on the line, if you can hear me. Dr. Netdale. And going down the line, Dr. Netdale going 3 times. *6. You need to press to unmute the phone. Neck is oh, but it's shit. On 3 times. Honorable Gene So, no agent on the line. You have another agent on the line.
Agashina got another one. I really can't pronounce her name. But she is on the line.
Oh, yes, this is Josie.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay.
Okay.
Good.
Josie, you have 17 minutes. You have the floor.
Oh, thank you, Shahat. And thank you, Council Delegate Stowe, for your leadership and invitation to join today's conversation. If Dr. Dinetale comes on a little bit later, she would definitely be able to add a bit more background and information on the stories that support, the building of understanding of the history and the beauty of our Navajo LGBTQ relatives. So she's been very supportive and a really strong ally advocate, for the past few decades. So really, really appreciate her. Absolutely want to leave some time for her in case she's able to join. But again, Josie Raffalito Yunchia, Bilagana Nishlito Hudsoy Bashichin, Ado Bilagani Dashichedo Torikoshi Dashanala, Kilchina Dene, Ado Nasha. My name is Josie Raffalito. My mother is German and Swedish, and my father is Meadow People Clan. And I was born in Shiprock, New Mexico, and raised on the Raymond Navajo Reservation, which is 2 hours west of Albuquerque. That's where my dad is from and his family, our family. And so that is very much still a place where I call home. But I currently reside on traditional Haudenosaunee land, also known as the Six Nations, with my wife in Buffalo, New York. I'm way out here and really grateful to find opportunity to stay connected to home, to community, especially in the space that's absolutely needed at this point in conversations about our Navajo LGBTQ relatives. So I mentioned, Pine Hill is home, Raymond, Navajo is home. My mother is a language arts teacher at Pine Hill Schools, which is the school I went to, graduated, Head Start to 12th grade. And my father is an artist and a builder. Together, they raised me and my siblings to be proud Diné people and to be proud of where we come from. They instilled values at an early age that continue to guide me today. The respect for love, family, hard work, taking responsibility, building courage, and generally just acknowledging the beauty, harmony, and balance in life. So I joined today's committee meeting as a relative and a proud Diné who also identifies with the Navajo LGBTQ+ and Two-Spirit community. So I understand that there are many other relatives who would like to speak today, but they're unable to because they may have conflicts in their schedules, just because of outright fear to share their stories, or because they are unable to receive anything less than positive support at this point in their lives. But I would encourage folks to read the comments that were shared as part of the legislation.
Josie?
Yes. Yep.
Can you refer to the marriage portion of the legislation? Please let me gear the meeting particularly to the legislation, to the marriage portion. Thank you.
Yep, will do. So I would encourage all of you to read those comments so that it's not my voice alone that's part of this discussion. With my background in public health and health policy, we know how important prevention is in our communities, especially in Navajo. And that when we talk about health prevention, we can't help but think of health law, health policy, legislation. And so with other experts in the room, just really encourage folks to keep that prevention in mind, because we know that there are high rates of suicide across Indian country, but particularly in Navajo. And this type of legislation would go a very long way in the prevention efforts to make sure that our Navajo youth are seeing support from the Navajo Nation government, support from committee members, from community leaders, that they are recognizing and acknowledging what it truly means to have marriage equality for our Navajo Nation. So marriage equality is not just about the right to love who we love. With marriage equality comes many other rights. The right to be next to our loved ones in a hospital as they heal or as they fight for their lives. The right to access healthcare as a spouse or a domestic partner. And the right to create a family, whether or not those people decide to foster, adopt, or be there to support and care for the next generation. It is the recognition of our full and true identity as Diné people. It is the right to be seen by our people and recognized as five-finger beings capable of love. I want to return home to Diné. I know that my wife and I would only be able to go home if I knew that we were protected and our marriage was legally recognized. With all the hate, violence, and attacks on human rights in the United States, I know that we are safe once we move back home. And there are many, many other Navajo married couples who have very similar feelings of wanting to return home, but are scared and unable to feel protected and to feel safe. So this legislation is about same-sex couples, but it's also about giving equal rights to our Diné women. I want to come home and join my family and community and be a part to build stronger foundations for future generations. But again, it's about safety, it's about respect, and it's about equity and equality, to making sure that my rights as a Diné woman are protected under law. So, I think that, the fact that we are continuing to have these conversations about the Diné Marriage Act is a positive thing. I've been serving on the Diné Pride Board of Directors for 3 years, and having really great conversations with our communities about different perspectives as members of Navajo LGBTQ are across the country now. So we're all meeting, we're all joining virtually, we're all coming back to Diné Pride, whether it's the parade, festivities, but really sharing with one another what Pride means to us, and inviting our elders, our friends, our families who are allies who just want to learn more to be part of that space too. So like I said, this is a great conversation to have within the committee, but it doesn't stand alone. And there's more education, more outreach that needs to happen. I also served as an agent with the Health and Education Committee a few weeks back, and it was, scary to put my story out there, but glad I wasn't alone in doing that, and knowing that I had a lot of community and support behind me. But to still hear the red votes or the no votes was really, really hard. And I'm sure that there could have been young people who were listening to and hearing those negative votes that don't stand for equity, that don't stand for equality, that don't stand for family. I want to make sure that those young ones know that there are others who continue to fight, continue to find the courage to speak up, and that this is something we are committed to as a community, something that we are determined to see happen in our lifetime, because we truly believe that there is a space for all of our community to be whole again, and there is a space to create more welcoming equity, equality, and love for those who have too often been misunderstood and unseen, and that's our Navajo LGBTQ and our Two-Spirit relatives. So I just hope that you all were able to hear my story, able to listen to the messages, but also able to open your hearts and think beyond today, think beyond the politics that interfere within our communities, beyond the world challenges that we are hearing about on the news today, and more so focus on the future generations and what can we do today that will have a positive impact moving forward. So I encourage you all to vote for our equality, vote for equal rights for our Diné women, vote yes for legislation 108-22 and help repeal the Discriminatory Diné Marriage Act of 2005. Because our people are ready to recognize our Navajo LGBTQ+ relatives. I know that my wife and I are ready for our marriage to be legally recognized by the great Navajo Nation government. We just need you to be ready to support. So, Shahat, thank you. I'd be happy to answer any questions that may be out there, but also want to save time for Dr. Diné if she's able to join. Shahat.
This is Jennifer.
Thank you very much.
Down.
Hold on, Jennifer. Thank you very much for Josie.
Mm-hmm.
Josie. So thank you for your presentation. And Dr. Diné, I did call for you 3 times earlier, and I did indicate that the issue of star 6 and called for you 3 times. So I'm going to go back to the sponsor of the legislation before I come to you. Honorable Eugene So, thank you very much. Hold on, Mr. Eugene So. I'm going to come back to you, a formality of the committee meeting. So with this, I'm going to come back to you, Mr. Eugene So. Do you have any other comments pertaining to your to the legislation?
Do we have any minutes left, Shanala?
You now have 5 minutes left.
If it's possible, if I'm in order, can we the net deal on that, give them the 5 minutes. I see she had additional. Thank you.
Well, she lost. Go ahead. Dr. Danette Deal.
Oh, yeah,
Good morning. You have the floor, and you can proceed with your report.
Jennifer Danette Dale she Logan Slow and she him bashes chin ki the chili dash che to had leading dash na without a the net sun and slendo to hatchy there I used to that na sha. I'll go ahead and keep it to brief my statement. I just want to express my support of the repeal the Dene Marriage Act of 2005. Base my support and ask for your support as well, based upon my years as a scholar of Dene studies with an expertise in feminisms and gender, where I started with research into the traditional leadership roles of our women, which then led me down the path of learning more about genders beyond the feminine and the masculine. My research taught me that traditionally Dene acknowledged more than two genders, and this is reflected in our creation narratives about the Nedle who brought together the men and women after they had an argument. I asked my late father, Frank Nez, who was a healer in the NAC tradition and who followed Dene ceremonies and prayers about the Nedle in our creation stories, and explained to him how our relatives today draw upon this figure to support who they are as LGBTQI2 spirit. As Shajah told me about the Nedle and how they had once been respected in our kin, his voice changed to express his appreciation for them. For they are said to be the mediators and negotiators in our community. Nedle were skilled at many things, including weaving and holding sacred ceremonial knowledge. Today, in our times, our LGBTQ2 spirit look to this story about the Nedle to affirm their place in our families and communities. The legislation before you does not change or alter Navajo Nation code regarding marriage between a man and a woman. Neither does it challenge or change the belief that marriage is sacred. Rather, the legislation affirms the rights of all of our citizens, including those who express a different gender identity. By revising the marriage code, the legislation allows for the rights of all of our citizens to be protected. They will have the protections and rights that many of us who are heterosexual take for granted, such as the right to what we take as entitlements that come with marriage, such as health benefits, access to spaces reserved for couples who are heterosexual. Their families will enjoy the resources of the Navajo Nation that other citizens enjoy. It's time to move beyond declarations that the council is not tasked with changing this code. In 2005, your body made it council business with the Dene Marriage Act, and it did not do so by referendum. A council delegate submitted a resolution. Today, as the council has done since it was formed as the legislating body of the Navajo Nation, it attended to legislation regarding marriage and family. These issues have been addressed and put into code by the council. It is now before you to address the resolution to repeal the Dene Marriage Act of 2005, and I urge you to do so as an act of good faith, that you respect and honor all of our relatives, regardless of their gender identity. It's time to affirm the rights of all our citizens to live happy and prosperous. Lastly, I commend Delegate Eugene So for his sensitivity and his understanding that to repeal the Dene Marriage Act is simply the right thing to do. Thank you very much, committee.
Time has expired. Honorable Gene Saul, time has expired on your 20-minute presentation. With that, I'm going to go ahead and move to the floor pertaining to questions pertaining to the resolution. We have a motion in place held by Honorable Vince James. We have a second motion in place held by Honorable Gene Saul. With this, any questions pertaining to this particular legislation? Going once, going twice, going three times. No questions pertaining to this. That Terrell, can you proceed with roll call vote?
Yes, Honorable Vince James, how do you vote?
Delegate James votes green.
Honorable Vince James votes green. Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote?
I thought it's yeah, thank you.
Honorable Eugene So votes green. Honorable Edmund Yazi, how do you vote?
Red.
Honorable Edmund Yazi votes red. Honorable Eugenia Charles Newton is excused. Honorable Vice Chair, you have 2 in favor, 1 opposed, and 2 not voting. Vice Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. Motion carries. 2 in favor, 1 opposed, and with Chair not voting, and the Madam Chair, Charles Newton, is excused today. Thank you very much. With this presentation, motion carries. Moves on to Budget and Finance Committee. Session and moving on to the next item on the agenda is item B, on the new business pertaining to. I'll turn it over to staff to read it into the record. Maureen, can you proceed with reading the item B into the record?
Yes, Vice Chair and members of the Law and Order Committee. So B is approve off reservation travel on September 20th to the 23rd, 2022 to travel to Washington, DC to meet with BIA and OJS. This was brought up by Madam Chair at the last meeting, so I went ahead and put on the agenda for approval of the off reservation travel. Thank you, Mr. Vice Chair.
Okay, thank you very much. So I am, before I go ahead and call for a motion, staff, so does this mean that traveling date is on the 20th and the 23rd, meaning that we only have 1 day meeting with the federal entity, correct?
Vice Chair, I haven't get the itinerary yet, from Carlisle, the gay, but
Okay.
this is the date that Madam Chair brought it up, so I would believe that the travel date will be on the 19th, and then the return travel would be on the 24th.
Okay,
Thank you.
let's leave it as is, and therefore travel to Washington D.C. to offer justice services. With that, I'm going to call for a motion.
Motion nada que pegue sí.
Motion by Honorable Eugene So. Second motion.
Second, Delegate
Second.
James.
Honorable Vince James. With that, any questions pertaining to this item that's for the committee to travel to Washington, D.C. at this time?
Make sure Biden is on the schedule, so Chanel, thank you.
Office of Justice Services. Okay, there's no questions with that. We'll proceed with roll call vote. Staff, can you proceed with roll call vote? Thank you.
Honorable Vince James, how do you vote? Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote?
Oh, that is yeah.
Honorable Eugene So votes green. Honorable Edmund Yazi, how do you vote?
Green.
Honorable Edmund Yazi votes green. Honorable Vince James, how do you vote?
Delegate James votes green.
Honorable Vince James votes green. Honorable Eugenia Charles Newton is excused. Honorable Vice Chair, you have 3 in favor, 0 opposed, and 2 not voting. Vice Chair.
Thank you very much. Motion carries. Travel set for September 20th to 23rd to Washington, D.C. So with that, motion carries. With that, Shananta, moving on, I'm going to go ahead and go on to number 8 on the agenda. Close the meeting. Announcements, Shananta. Any announcements at this time? What? Twice, Honorable Gene So, announcement.
I just got a few concerns regards to police station here in Chinling. I don't know else what I reckon. I asked Dana if I can drop whistleblower legislation, but she hasn't responded back yet. But maybe we can put that on the agenda next month. Thank you, or the next meeting. Thank you.
Hey, thank you very much. We can go ahead and actually, Lorraine, can you have this report added on with the agent, Honorable Gene So, presenting? Thank you very much. With that, Shananta, is there any
Mr.
other
Vice Chair.
questions? Yes.
Vice Chair. So your next meeting is supposed to be on August 15th. However, there's going to be a holiday, Navajo Nation Code Talker Day. So I just went ahead and on the agenda on August 29th, I went and scheduled that meeting in lieu of from August 15th.
Okay, that's fine. That's
So
fine.
next Monday is the holiday. And your next regular
August
meeting is going to
29th.
be on August 22nd. And then following that will be August 29th. It's going to be the in lieu of meeting as a special meeting.
Okay.
Thank you, Vice Chair.
That'll be fine. Very much. August 22nd will be the special meeting. It will be the regular meeting. And August 29th will be the meeting set where Eugene So will present pertaining to what he wants to present to the committee. So Honorable Gene So will get information together, reports to the committee if pertaining to this report. With that, Jananta, is there any other announcements? Once, twice, and 3 times. We'll go on to the next item, adjournment. Motion to adjourn.
Very season, another.
Adjournment, Eugene So, Honorable Eugene So, seconding the motion. Seconding the motion.
Second.
Adjournment. Second by Honorable Edmund Yazzie. With that, Jananta, we'll go ahead and move forth. Staff, Sherelle, proceed with roll call vote.
Honorable Vince James, how do you vote?
Delegate James votes green.
Honorable Vince James votes green. Honorable Eugene So, how do you vote?
Vote that is here.
Honorable Eugene So votes green. Honorable Edmund Yazzie, how do you vote?
Green.
Honorable Edmund Yazzie votes green. Honorable Eugene Charles Newman is excused. Honorable Vice Chair, you have 3 in favor, 0 opposed, 2 not voting, and Vice Chair not voting. Vice Chair.
Hey, thank you very much. Motion carries. We have adjourned at 10:47 a.m. and thank you very much, committee members. We have Budget and Finance Committee going on at this time. Committee members, today, FYI, and have a safe day and be safe out there, Shananta. Thank you very much, staff, for being